I don't know, like, she's out there. You're the Florida version of Sex in the City, JD.
That's when I was smoking my cigar.
Don't be an asshole today. So we got Nick ready to rock and roll the Pride wrap up.
Hey,
How are you?
Look at
I missed
that.
you.
not much has been going on with me. I'm taking a little break from work because I wanted to see y'all so much. So I'm really excited to see y'all.
Oh,
We
same.
are, yeah, super excited. Nic Austin of the Colorado Nic Austins. Uh, I expressly asked you to be here for a little Pride wrap up. You know, it's been a long summer with
Mhm.
festivals and films and parades and parties and people just throughout. I mean, we started in June, right? Yeah, we started in June and
Sure
we're
did.
like kicking like right through August here. So, what's your Pride season been like?
Oh, it's been so busy.
Yeah.
Mostly it's been busy with work, but because what I do is I write a lot of articles about different pride campaigns and trying to raise awareness for different pride themed things. And so my whole summer has been filled with a lot of pride. And then Denver Pride happened at the end of June, so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Um, and nothing too crazy happened, which was good because we've been hearing so many things that had happened over the summer. So it was great. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, that's fantastic. We did a little West Palm beaching at the end of
Mhm.
March. I didn't do
We did.
any here in England, nothing, none. Um, because we really haven't had like a hot summer. You know,
Mhm.
it's been so mild. I mean, there's days where it's like 68, you know.
Have you
Oh,
used your air conditioner yet? Have you even used it?
Not really, like not in a, I mean, I use it if it's like a super sunny day and I'm
Mhm.
cooking. Like I can feel things like kind of heating up a little bit and I'll turn it on because it just kind of shoots straight into the kitchen. So I can
Mhm.
literally still use my oven in the summer, and that is joy. Um, but I think tomorrow might be the first day that I get to really test it out because it's going to be 78 tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
which means that the house will probably be like 2 degrees warmer from the sun beating on it. Uh,
Finally, you'll get to
yeah,
use it.
I'm kind of excited. And then after that, it's the next day is like 77, and then we could drop back down to 71, 70, 72. So it's really weird that like, we really have not had like a summer something. The hottest day I can recall was the day we had our pride kickoff backyard garden party. It was like 85 and it, all during the day. And then as soon as the sun went down, it just cooled off and it was like a perfect evening.
Mhm.
So it
Mhm.
worked out. It worked out really, really good. And the thing of it is like I would have went to a couple of different Pride fests, but like Brighton Pride, it rained really bad. It was terrible. So that wasn't even an option. And some of the more local ones, I don't hear about them until the day of. I don't hear about like Crawley or Croydon or some of the places that are nearby that it would be fun to go to. I don't really know about. There was no place that they were listed, and I just didn't know until the day of or after the fact. So, whatever. It just is what it is. We could celebrate Pride this way with all of us, with
that's
all of us,
true.
and I feel like the Pride party was pretty fun. Like that was we just had like a bunch of queers in the garden and tons of rosé and munchies and just perfect perfect company. And, we put a tarp up, we had fairy lights everywhere, and it was just, it was perfect. So that was literally my pride.
That sounds nice though.
Yeah. Not to mention, like, we've had some great guests, like
Mhm.
from the start of this. We've had great business people and actors and producers and music people. And it's just, comedians. So we really did have some good shows. And I noticed that you have been on Threads quite a bit, mister.
Yeah, I finally decided to cave in and check it out. Not a lot going on there, unfortunately.
Feels weird. Like, I still don't know if hashtags are a thing.
I
I
don't think they are.
I don't think they are, but I don't know how you engage with people without asking dumb questions, you know?
Well,
Is
yeah.
Threads a new search engine? Should I know about Threads? Not
It's
I
search
like
made
engine,
I made
social
you sign
media.
up.
I did? Did I sign up for it? Oh my God. What, should I be doing something on it? She's
I
she's
don't
great.
think I've seen JD on
Look at
Threads.
the disappointment in Denise's.
You don't tweet, you don't post.
I remember
All
now
she
when it
does is Facebook and Instagram. That's
was
it.
Instagram.
Well, you're
But
not missing out on
isn't
Threads.
that where my people are or not really?
I don't know. I can't make heads or tails of Threads. I really can't. It seems like really good for brands, you know, like Dunkin' Donuts and Taco Bell and furniture companies and grocery stores and and TV channels and stuff like that. Like, I feel like they're the ones that are getting the most out of it. But I don't know how to engage people to get them to follow you. Like, it's very strange.
It
Um,
is. It's like,
so I
how do
just
you find people when you're looking for common interests, you
like
know?
it imported everybody that I follow on Instagram because
Yeah,
that's the basis of the app is through Instagram. So it imported everybody that I follow, but not everybody has signed up yet, you know? So
Right.
I don't understand why I'm seeing a lot of what I'm seeing because it's not people that I follow. So again, it must be based on the algorithm that I created when I started following people on Instagram. So it just, I don't know. It feels like there's an absolute lack of control.
I better start working it, Denise. I'll get on there. I'll start
Okay.
working.
Yeah, okay. All right. I still
that.
think that, yeah, I get most of my instant news on the X app. I don't
So hard to trust that now, though, because it's like, what is considered, you know,
authentic.
verified? Yeah,
Yeah,
verified
yeah,
anymore.
yeah. Very weird. It's this I stand by the people that I've always followed when it comes to politics.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what I go by. But I've definitely not followed anybody new at all.
It's
So
actually interesting because, I have seen a lot of news stuff on Threads, actually. Most of what my feed is are like political news stories from AP and New York Times and stuff like that,
yeah,
and political commentators. And, it's interesting getting the news from that source instead of, Twitter anymore.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's very weird. It is. I swear, I just feel like these are strange times we're living in.
Oh
The
gosh,
planet's on
yes.
fire. There's a writer's strike. I can't. I am so. Um, that's what my Instagram is filled with. Just pictures of
Oh
actors on
yeah.
the street
Yeah.
with their signs.
I
So
know the actors, all the writers,
yeah,
everyone involved. What do you all think of that?
I think it's disgusting the way studio executives are handling it. I really do. I was fired up at Fran Drescher's speech.
Yeah.
Man, that got me fired up, man. And then I think about all my friends, that are in that business, whether it's behind the scenes or in front of the cameras or writing. And I just feel for them. Like I feel so awful for them to see some of the things that the studio executives have said about, we'll wait it out, pretty soon they'll lose their homes, they'll go back to work. And it's just like, oh my God, like that is brutal. So yeah, I feel it's I when I interviewed Michelle Benila, again, one of those actresses that's just in everything. She's in like 911 Lone Star. She's the boss of the call center. She, she's just in everything. She was in Castle. She was in NCIS, all kinds of stuff. But she is one of the local leaders, one of the union reps. And I look at the stuff that, I really read what she's, putting out there. And I understand it more, because A, I trust her, B, it's not propaganda, and C, I mean, this is her livelihood. So I get most of my news about what's going on through her and her posts, but I noticed that this guy I used to love did you ever watch Ryan Murphy's first show, Popular?
That I went back and I watched Nip Tuck, but I didn't go back that far to Popular, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, it was typical high school stuff, the blondes versus the brunettes kind of thing, and the jocks and all that. But there was a guy on that, Chris Gorham, and he was also in a couple of shows.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's now he's trying to get voted in too to be like a union rep or whatever. So yeah, it's like my favorites are doing the work, man. They're doing the work.
Well, yeah, the strike, it's for those actors, those actors that, are behind this, who are in the scenes, but they're not at the front of the scene, and
Right.
they're doing that work every day, and they're not getting paid anything. Their residuals are nothing of what they're getting. So
True.
All
See,
power
that's
to
the
them.
thing. I'm sorry, go ahead, Nick.
Oh no, I was done. Yeah.
Like, first of all, I don't think I know probably enough about it to really speak too much, with a lot of knowledge. But what I understand of it is like, it's the same thing like with the music business. There are people, a very small percentage of people that make all the money. And like, that's like the executives aside. I'm talking about the artists, the actors, like, okay, you're going to get your people that are making millions of dollars, but then the strike really, I think, is really like what you said, Nick, to represent the people that they hardly get paid anything. But the people, when they hear from Fran Drescher, people are not sympathizing because they're saying, well, they have so much money. What are they complaining about all the money they make? And I saw a meme where someone wrote like, really, you get paid to write, from a person who's a freelancer that doesn't get paid to write at all, except by the job, and not like the people that write for the television shows that make, again, the small percentage that make the money. But I think, like, you're right, the executives who aren't the talent are making the most of it because they're the ones putting it all together. But then, I also think they're not giving new people a chance either. Like, you keep seeing the same movies made over and over again. They are remaking,
same directors, same studios. Yeah.
The Color Purple. It's like, and Oprah.
Yeah.
And Denzel Washington. I forget who the other people were. It was like a star-studded group of people remaking that movie. I was at the movies this weekend, and I'm like, oh, this looks like a great movie, but it kind of looks like something that I already saw. And at the end, it says The Color Purple. And I went to my friend, what is it? Like, does anybody ever do anything new? Because they don't want to do anything new because they know they're going to do the tried and true. But it's not giving the new writers a chance with new ideas to come in with anything. I mean, I don't know if I know I'm not saying anything from the perspective of the money part of it and the people getting paid, except like what you mentioned, Nick, it's the people that aren't getting and have not been getting the money all along that they really need to be speaking for. And are they really going to make a difference if they're striking? Because they're doing it. Sometimes people do it just to get on screen. They'll be the extra and they'll work
Well,
all
yeah,
day.
but you think about this, JD. It's like even headliners, aren't working because of the strike. You know,
Right. That
so
in solidarity.
that's what's
Yeah.
gonna
Right. That's
but
true.
yeah, but I think I've seen some big faces out there. I really have. It's Adam Sandler was out there, and
Yeah. Yeah.
so that makes me feel good because they're not sitting back and letting the little guys do the work.
True.
You know,
That's
Yeah.
true.
that's kind of like what I notice more and more on Instagram. I think the thing of it is it's not going to have an effect until they start regurgitating shit because they've got nothing new. you know
Right.
and
Right.
then you've
Right.
got
Right.
viewers that are unhappy, actors that aren't working, writers that aren't working, studios that are literally doing nothing. And it's that's when it'll break because it seems new and fresh right now. And it's just like,
Right.
so what is this even doing? But you
Yeah.
wait until there's nothing new and there's
Exactly.
always, repeats on TV. That's going to really, no huge, um, well done, money backed blockbusters, so,
That's true.
and
Maybe
thank God
there,
Barbie got in at the tail end, right?
I think you're right.
Yeah, I
Maybe
know.
there could be a shift where everyone at the top of the food chain could kind of maybe they could just do a whole redirection of everything and the money that's in the pie and split that pie a little bit better,
Well,
you know?
it's pretty layered, right? Like they're worried about AI technology,
Right? True.
I get that.
True.
Yeah,
And
don't get me started on that.
I know. And I guess like the thing that I think about now is this does this crack studios into making more indie films?
Right?
Will they all
Maybe.
become a Lionsgate? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Will they all,
Yeah.
will they all start looking at indie scripts now, and giving them the attention they so badly deserve,
Mhm.
because of the money issues, the money problems,
True. That's true.
yeah,
But yeah, they've been able to get a lot of SAG waivers to continue on indie productions because they're able to pay their talent and their crew fairly. And it's just like, why can't the big studios do that?
right,
And
Yeah.
right,
they've
Yeah.
released the information of how much these top executives have been making year to year,
Right.
and the ask of how much it would to, bring everyone back to the table is nothing compared to how much they make. It's just,
right.
it's crazy.
It's sickening. It's actually
Yeah.
sickening. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
brutal. It's going to be, a rough next year, I think.
Yeah.
When they run out of everything that's done and it's in post,
Right.
you know,
Right.
there's a lot of rules that go along with this. Like actors, they can't promote it, they can't walk the red carpet, they can't do interviews, they can't post about it. I mean, there's literally nothing they can do to promote anything. So even if a movie is done and in post and then it goes into cinemas, you're not going to hear anything about it, so you're not going to see commercials. You're not, you know what I mean? Like it's
True. Yeah. And
Mhm.
also I've noticed that I don't know if it was always like this and I just never noticed, but most of the time when you see a new series or you see a movie out um, that has a starring actor in it, usually they're one of the executive producers, or if it's a group of actors, they're putting their money up for these projects, also. Like it's not, I don't think it probably was like that in the old days, like I like, when I say old days, I mean, I don't know how far back you go. I don't know when you saw so many of the actors making their own projects. Like I heard, oh, what's his name? The guy that played George Costanza on Seinfeld.
Jason.
Jason, oh, you know who I mean,
Yeah,
George. Uh,
Jason
he said,
Alexander. Jason Alexander.
yes, Jason Alexander. He said you have to create your own opportunities nowadays. Like you can't wait for someone to hand it to you. Like you need to create your own your own projects, which
Every actor has a production company, right? I mean,
Um,
yeah, I don't
like
think it used to be
Reese
that way.
Witherspoon, right? Look at everything
Yes.
he's done. Little Fires Everywhere, and she's executive producer for the morning show, and I'm
Tina Applegate was put up, was the executive producer for Dead to Me.
the
I
last
mean,
season, yeah, because of Will Ferrell, right? But yeah, it's gonna be weird if things can't get made. You cannot get up there.
are you talking to a cat?
You can't, like, all of a sudden, because like we just found out he's diabetic. So
Oh,
yeah, so he's got to get his shots. He's feeling much better, and he's kind of like back to his normal self, but he's also eating like a beast. He's supposed to be on 2 days, like two feedings a day. Not happening yet. Because he's still on a little bit of steroid. We're trying to wean him off the steroid. So he's always hungry, but like he hasn't jumped up on the kitchen counters and I don't even know how long. And now he's up there trying to figure out how to get on top of the cabinets. Like, dude, you're an old man now, You're an old diabetic man.
but cats live pretty long, right? Cats could live.
Especially, yeah, I mean, diabetes is like, there was the least of our concerns. We really thought there was something more, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
couldn't figure out what was going on with them, but yeah, that's it. So, um, he's supposed to have a 7 a.m. and a 7 p.m. feeding with his shots. And no, no, he's got to have 2 tablespoons for a snack, 2 tablespoons before I go to bed. He's like, he meows in your face all day for food. He smacks at your leg, like, hey, hey,
Here I am.
cat bites
dude,
me.
you just ate an hour ago. It's like, oh, but yeah, that's our new dilemma. It's crazy. It's so stupid. But it makes me so worried about leaving the house, because I can't figure him out. Like if he stays on 2 a days, I guess it'd be great, but he's not. So I keep thinking, oh my God, if I go out, does he just wander around the house meowing that he's, just wander around like a crazy cat meowing for food? Like, oh my God. But that's my thing is like anything you do now, you have to be home at a certain time to feed him and give him his shots. So, but I had a friend who had a cat that lived to be like, I don't, she had a diabetic cat for 13 years.
Oh yeah, they live way longer than
Yeah.
that.
And like, I mean, this cat, she took it on the plane. She was, it traveled with her wherever she went. And I
Hmm.
was just like, God, like, I mean, it was crazy, but it gives me hope for him.
So
So
what's happening over in your part of the country, Nick? Anything with Pride in the summer happening?
you've been watching some movies that I tell you right now, I would never stink up my living room with.
Oh my goodness, like what?
He watches these movies that like when you're scrolling Netflix and you go watch like 10 seconds or something and you're like, oh, like when I see these things that you're watching, I'm like, oh my God,
Like
man,
what?
they look so heavy. They look heavy and dark and moody.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I was gonna mention those movies, but I probably shouldn't because they are pretty heavy, they're not
Yeah.
Like
exactly
what?
light.
Like what movie? Maybe I might probably watch the same dark, stinky movie, I bet.
Are they foreign?
Yeah, a good portion of them are like, the ones that I just watched this past weekend that I posted like on threads and all over the place that I
Yeah, yeah.
saw horror movies and one was from the UK. It's called Blue Jean and it's about this PE teacher in 1980s Thatcher's England and she lives a double life because she's a closeted lesbian and there's this new student who finds out about her identity.
I think I saw a trailer for that. Go
It
on, yeah.
was really good. It was really good. And it was just about her having to come to terms with either being true to herself or staying in her role as a teacher and what that means to her identity and stuff like that.
Oof, yeah. Yeah,
It's heavy, but it has a really nice ending. So
That
no
sounds
wonder
like
you needed a Heartstopper as a palate cleanser.
yes, I had to watch that after these four
that.
movies. You probably saw that I watched it after, and then I finished it the next day because I'm like, yeah, I need a break from that. I need something uplifting and just joy.
Light and happy and yeah.
I need to watch. I watched a little of that. I need to continue to watch those. But the movie that you were just describing, Nick, reminds me of. I'm sure you've seen it, Denise, Scandal with Kate Blanchett and Judi Dench.
Yeah, that was crazy sick.
Right?
That was tense.
That was a great movie. But how different did Judi Dench look in that movie? They really made her look frumpy and dowdy.
Oh,
And
she can look at like, and even in like Philomena, like everything I see her in, she looks different. The only time I ever see her looking like herself is in the Bond movies. You know what I
right?
mean?
Yes, that's true. I didn't even really know what I had to look it up to see what does she look like normally because, I don't think she looks like this. And then
She's
I looked up.
phenomenal. We saw her in a play at the Noel Collard Theater in the West End with Ben Whishaw, who also is in the Bond movies too. And it was about
Oh, sorry, this thing keeps turning on.
it was about the writer, I think, of Winnie the Pooh and the relationship
Oh,
he had with her agent. I think that's what it was. And at first I thought, oh God, this is gonna suck. It's gonna be so boring. But seeing Judi Dench on stage in person live
oh man.
sucked you
That
right
is so
in.
cool.
Sucked you right in. And she was sick as a dog that night, and she still was phenomenal. It was really something to see. And I'm really mad that Sophia Bush. I went to go see Ghost Story 222 with Cheryl Cole. I forget where that was, what theater that was, but that was again in the West End, and it was a big production. And it was really interesting because it was super suspenseful, and there were just like moments where things were like really loud and made you jump, and like what the, like oh my God. And it was creepy because it was like you're waiting for a ghost basically. um but it was actually really good. It was better than I expected. Then I found out that Cheryl Cole was finishing up and Sophia Bush was coming over to do a West End debut and take over one of the roles in it, and they were changing up the cast and everything, and it was moving to the theater next door. And I was like, when am I ever going to get the chance to see Sophia Bush live? Because I just freaking love her since One Tree Hill, Chicago PD, everything. I've been such a fan forever. And I get all set to buy tickets, and I find out that she has to pull out because she had a virus that she couldn't kick.
Oh
And she
man.
was, she had been off for like 2 weeks, and then it was getting worse, and she wasn't able to kick it. So they recommended she drop out, go back home, see her own physician, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, my finger was right on the buy tickets. It actually was Katie, because Katie's friend was the stage manager of the show. And so when we went, we got to actually meet Cheryl Cole, which was amazing. But I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get to meet Sophia Bush too. Like, I'm so super excited. Yeah, and then that was the end of that. That was my summer. That was my one summer plan. That out.
I was watching something this morning about Rock Hudson. Have you seen the documentary about Rock Hudson's life? I think it's kind of new.
Just finished Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward.
Yeah,
the movie stars. I just finished that.
Oh, I saw that. I didn't see it, but I saw that advertised. But it was just, it was so different in Hollywood, like back then, like everything they did to convince the people that he wasn't gay, and he still went and he lived his life like he went and did what he wanted to do, and they said it was like a miracle that he didn't get found out like until way later, like almost towards the end of his life.
What about
Um,
Mr. Brady? Like that always came as a shocker for me that Mike Brady was gay in real life.
yeah, yeah, that was a shocker. But Rock Hudson, it was like he went and he would leave the movie set to go away with his boyfriend. And they had some of those men that he was seeing in this documentary talking about those days, and they said it was a miracle, nothing short of a miracle that they did not find him out because he just didn't care. He just lived his life the way he wanted to, and they were, they were much younger than he was, so they're old now, but I mean, they're still around because they were much younger at the time. So
Yeah.
he's far before your time, Nick, I'm sure. You know who I'm talking about, right?
No, I know a lot about Rock Hudson. I'm trying to think if I've seen that. That's on Max now, right?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
No,
I don't think I
Catch it.
get
It's
that.
good. It's a good watch.
yeah, I'll have to check it out because I'm a huge fan of Rock Hudson. I loved his movies with Doris Day
Yeah.
and his movies with Jane Wyman. One of my friends was just watching All That Heaven Allows earlier today, and I'm like, it's one of my favorite films of all time. I love Rock Hudson in it. So,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the name of the documentary, the subtitle.
oh
Of
really?
Yeah, that's the subtitle. Something to that. All That Heaven Allows, I think, is what it's like, Rock Hudson, and then, the story. Yeah. You should catch it, especially if you're a fan, because you find out a lot of things about him that, I mean, I never knew. So, yeah.
Well,
So what have you been watching then, aside from lesbian gym teachers in England?
well, I am obsessed with Barbie. Have
I like the message. I think that there's a little pushback from the character of ugly Barbie or weird Barbie, the one they call
yeah,
weird Barbie.
Kate
There's
McKinnon?
there's a people are saying, oh, like they shouldn't have called her. They never told her she was beautiful, even at the end. I think there is some people that are complaining about that.
Oh man, she
But
got a doll. There's a doll out
what
already.
did you think about it, Nick?
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was very funny. I thought, that it had a very basic message behind it, but I think that it's the type of message that goes over well with that type of film, a big blockbuster film for all
Yes.
people, and I think, you need that kind of common message to be able to get through to so many audiences. And,
Yeah.
it says so much about women's roles and how men depend on women. And, it's a great time because there's so much fun, zany stuff that happens beyond the messages that they
Right.
they put out there. So
And that's
Yeah.
now topped over 1 billion.
yeah, it's
Wow.
really exciting.
That's impressive. I
Yeah.
mean, it opened over there a month before it opened over here. So
Oh.
over here, it's only been out like maybe 2 weeks, right? I think 2, 3 weeks.
Oh. 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 Oh.
Yeah. So I didn't want to go like the first week because I knew it would be jammed and it would be crazy and everything. And it's going to the movies here is a very different experience. You buy your tickets online, you
Uh-huh.
your ATM card at a machine. It's very weird. They have the big seats. You can pay extra for the Barca loungers. You know, shit like that. So I just figured like we'll go when it dies down a little bit. Yeah. So other than Barbie, what other gay things? Like, how would you sum up like your Pride summer? Like, have you spent it just like immersed in gay movies, or have you gone out? Have you gone to concerts? Are you a Swiftie? Are you gonna like what's it?
Can't imagine being at a Taylor Swift concert. First of all, they're impossible to get into. They're
Right.
so
Right.
expensive. But did you hear that there was at a Taylor Swift concert that they created basically what amounted to a small earthquake from how hard they were dancing.
Yes.
No.
And what's the thing with the beaded bracelets? Like you give them to other concert goers?
Oh, I
Like,
haven't heard about that.
oh my God. My Instagram was filled with like every Jesse Tyler Ferguson. Um, oh my God. Anybody with kids they were taking their kids, but they were making like this many bracelets with the beads
Yeah.
that say different things or whatever, and you trade them with other concert goers because they've done it too. So I'm like,
Huh.
Really?
what is this? What is even happening? But I can't knock it all because I think that she's really come into her own, as far as, redoing her music catalog, you know, giving her truck drivers, 100 grand bonuses for the tour drivers and
Oh,
the
that's nice.
bus
That's
drivers and all that, the
Cool.
roadies. And I just think that she's starting to get it. And as I think I tweeted this, I did say that I really feel like people that are that philanthropic and have their finger on the pulse of the what's going on, the atmosphere and the culture and everything, are that, like, that to me is so amazing that I really feel like her and Dolly Parton could literally run the world.
yeah.
Right? They could
So
just
many good things.
so many good things. So many good
No,
Yeah,
things.
they put their
you're
money
right.
where the mouth is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is nice when they do that. You're right. They acknowledge the people around them, and uh, it's great to be able to do that. I always wished if I had ever gotten into that position, I would be that person to do that. I think
Yeah.
it's so important
It's
to
amazing. And I
give
don't
back.
I don't feel like she does it for the headlines, because I see a lot of um like spontaneous pictures of her with
Yeah.
the kids at the concerts and stuff, and it's just, amazing the way she treats them like little adults, and she doesn't like pinch their cheeks or, boop them on the nose or anything dumb like that. She really does just kind of, oh,
Aw.
what's
He's a
that?
kitty.
Oh, so sweet. Look at that little nose.
Oh, aw.
So daddy, no, put me down.
What do you think about what Miranda Lambert did at her concert? We talked about this a little bit, right, Denise, with the girls doing the selfies. It
Yeah, I thought
became
it was shitty. I thought it was
I
shitty. They
thought
pay
it
a
was
lot of
shitty
money to
too.
see her. They could do whatever the fuck they want. You know what I
I
mean?
agree. I
Except
agree.
throw things at them, right?
If I was Cardi B, I wouldn't have even let go of that
Yeah.
thing. I would have hammered that chick over the head with
Yeah,
it before I
I
threw it.
know.
Man, what is going on with this new thing with throwing stuff?
I do
You hear
not know.
Adele though? Adele, I fucking dare you. I'll kill you.
Oh, right.
I love Adele.
I do too.
I love
She's
that she
so
said that.
she is so quintessentially surmises everything about a British woman, Yeah, yeah, it's funny, but that was perfect. I don't even understand. Who was it? Was it BB Rexa that got hit in the face and had to get stitches she got hit
Yeah.
with a cell phone?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
her
don't
and
even
Harry
get it. Why?
Styles. Harry Styles got hit in the face too at a concert.
Yeah, with a bag of Skittles. I mean, that's a little different than a cell phone.
right,
Yeah.
right.
But no, I think the thing of it is I don't understand why you would do that. You're there to see that entertainer. What would
Exactly.
prompt
Right.
you to do that? Get down. Here we go again. Okay.
I just think though with Miranda Lambert, that whole thing became a thing now. Now they have T-shirts where people say the T-shirt said something about selfies on the T-shirts with like in favor of what she did. But I thought what she did was really wrong. I agree with you, Denise. I think
There's just a
she
lot of
shouldn't have shamed them and called them out about that because
just
I think they wanted her in the background of their selfie.
right.
So,
Right.
you know,
And
yeah.
the thing that gets me like right now is that we teeter on such cancel culture, that it can go either way, but it ends up what happens is it divides people even more. because everything
Yes,
was
it
about
does. You're right.
their opinion of everything. Jason Aldean, that whole thing.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I mean, come on, that how hypocritical, because he's got a song from what, 2 albums ago that was about leaving a small town. By the way, Thelma and Louise. No, I'm sorry,
Oh,
Tina
look at
Davis,
that.
Rockford Peaches.
Oh, that's the League of Their Own?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I had Thelma and Louise last week. Awesome. So, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Tell us what gay things you have watched, or what we should be watching.
Yeah,
yeah,
what are we missing?
so there's some movies coming out that I think are going to be really exciting for queer audiences. So I don't know if you've heard of the film Passages by Ira Sachs.
I can assure
So
you, we're never going to hear about any of the films that you're going to tell us to watch. So you have to tell
maybe the
us.
next one, maybe the next one, but this one, so Passages, it has Ben Whishaw, who you just mentioned earlier, he's in it. And it made news over here because it was rated NC-17 by a rating system because of the sex scenes in it. And of course, everyone's like, it's, just because they're gay sex scenes that they're being given this very like high rating. But it's supposed to be really good, a really good queer story. And it's about this man who's in a relationship with another man who starts to question his identity once he has a one night stand, this affair with this woman. And so it redefines his relationship with his partner. And it's supposed to give really great performances, really great writing. And Ben Whishaw, I just love him.
Yeah, I
So,
do too. He's so cute. And he was in I don't know if you would have even had access to a very British Scandal
oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
with Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant. Yeah.
And there were some pretty raunchy scenes in that. I mean, the language, if anything, but yeah, he's brave. He's brave, Ben, I have to say.
I know. I love it. I love that he took a role in this film because you can tell it's very daring and it's already received so much pushback. So, it's going to be good.
Yeah, yeah, that's a true sign right there.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the other film, I don't know if you've heard of this, but it's called Bottoms.
I feel like I might have. Go ahead, explain it a little bit.
So it's about these two queer best friends in high school, and they create a female fight club at their high school to hook up with chicks.
No, nope, nope, I did not.
It's supposed to be so funny, and it's gonna be like the comedy of the end of summer. So it's definitely something when it comes out, you'll definitely have to check it out. It's supposed to be like common raunchy, kind of like high school teen American Pie type movie.
Oh, you know what? We need a new Porky's.
Yes, exactly. And I love that it features, queer women, and I love the people who are involved in it. So it's definitely something I'd recommend.
All right, good. We'll put that
Good.
in. What are you thinking of and just like that this season?
Oh,
I was going to ask him. You
yeah,
knew.
and just like that. So y'all are watching it.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm current.
I, I am enjoying it. Except I don't know what they're doing with Che, honestly,
I
because
don't
now
Yeah.
know.
Che is running a dog kennel
Pet clinic.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what's happening here? I hope that Che gets a better storyline.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
it was odd, like JD pointed out that Miranda seemed to handle the breakup just fine.
Yeah, just moved
You know,
on like that.
right. And Shay was the one who was, going to Carrie and going, is she ghosting me? Why is she not texting me? Why is she? And it was like, wow, what a reversal from, Mr. Confident, you know what I
Right.
mean? To like, yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. I,
yeah.
I think, I just think in general, they're going through like they have so many storylines that they're just like touching upon each one, and none of them are really thorough. You know, like I don't know, like I think like the whole thing with the with Miranda with Shay type of thing. Like no one really breaks up that quickly and never like right? I mean, like normally the person's going to go back and say, "Don't you want to try again?" What do you mean where it's never going to get better? Maybe we can
That's
just try.
just you, Jay. That's just you.
I can never end things. No, but I mean, like, but storylines too. Like they just, like I think,
About the lady that Miranda lives with, right? The one that's going through the
oh, her
divorce.
too, right? She's just moving on with her divorce. Brady, I think um, Brady's breakup, the Miranda's son, he was more upset about breaking up with his girlfriend than Miranda was about breaking up with Jay. And but
Yeah.
about that is she changed her whole life to be with her, and like then she just walked away, and she was. I mean, I just think each storyline, in my opinion, they don't get deep enough into it. You know, like I
So
just
many
think
characters.
Yeah.
I
it's the
completely agree.
characters. Like even with Charlotte's daughter becoming a model, that was one episode, and then she decides she doesn't want to do it, and that was the end of that. Then she moved on to something else. It's like there's
The other one having sex and then never hearing
yeah,
anything about it. Yeah.
you never hear about that, right?
Charlotte going out in a blizzard to get her daughter condoms.
I
That is
couldn't,
the
yeah.
Right.
funniest.
So I'm finding it, I am definitely finding it very disjointed.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like this season just feels very disjointed. And I don't think that they needed the additional characters.
yeah,
I don't think I love Seema, but I don't think that we needed her. But I feel like she was just filler for Samantha because she's glamorous and she's
Yeah.
cocky, confident, and
And I
she's
love that
successful.
actress too. And I love that character, but yeah, they're not doing anything with her.
nothing.
No,
And it's yeah, it's so it feels weird, and I have to say, like I did I did feel for Aiden in that episode where they were decided to rent Shay's place, as an
uh,
Airbnb, and he got all twisted around with the pronouns and everything because I am Aiden, like in that, like I'm an OG LGBTQer, and I don't like, it was hard for me to put the Q on the end, it
it
was hard
is.
for me with the pronouns because I want so badly to use them correctly.
Right,
I get
right.
so tongue tied and nervous that I end up like screwing it up. Like I don't get it. Like I don't, they're not coming fluently yet,
I'm with you.
So,
I'm with you on that.
yeah,
And now they added IA to it.
yeah, I know.
So,
It's just
and
it was hard enough with just the four, like now there's like another four. Like, wow.
I
I do,
love it.
I do. I just
I do look forward to it every week. I have to say that.
yeah, but
I do love, I texted Denise, I love the scene when Miranda goes to the apartment of the woman that she was fantasizing about that read the
Oh,
books
gosh,
she wrote.
yeah.
And then she's this mess with the cat litter and the dirty cat litter box and the sheets in the dryer, the
Have
flannel.
you have either of you had experiences like that?
Definitely. That's why I did anyway. That's why I related to that so much.
yeah, I had some bad, back in the days of AOL Buddy List, I literally
Oh.
used it as a grinder. And yeah, some horrible experiences. Like, I mean, I can't even, the one that always stands out was this woman who sent me a picture of somebody that looked like, and I remember, like, this is in the 80s, right? So, or
Yeah, yeah.
right on the cut. So this was not actually, it was like 91, 92. Nope, later than that. Holy crap. It was early 2000. And so I get this picture, and this picture of this young blonde girl that kind of like, now if I had to say who she looked like, I would say Rita Ora, right? So I was like, I'm all over this. And so she's like, I'm a masseuse. So I was like, another tick, right?
Right, right.
Blonde, a masseuse, young. I'm like, okay. So she's like, do you want to meet me at work and you can follow me home? I'll change clothes and we'll go out and get a bite to eat. And I'm like, yeah, it works. So I'm sitting in my car and I'm looking at the massage studio and I'm like, huh, okay. And I see this woman who's like got a physique of a fullback, short, muddy brown hair,
Oh no.
and probably 10 years older than me. And she's waving, and I'm like, oh, I bet that's just like, I bet my date told her, tell her to come in or whatever, like
Right, right, right.
coworker. Nope, that was my date. And
Oh my God.
it went from bad to worse to worse. Like it just kept getting worse, you know. Like we get to her place and she goes, oh, well, I changed my clothes. Would you mind taking my dog out for a poo?
No. Oh my God. That's
That's
like
very romantic.
Massive Weimaraner dog, right? Does this ginormous shit. And I'm like, I'm not picking it up. I'm not picking it up. No way. So I didn't pick it up. And then we go out to dinner and we went to a Chinese restaurant and she proceeded to get hammered on sake.
No. Oh my God.
Hammered.
It did go from bad to worse.
And when there's like that ambient buzz of people talking, throughout,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right when she says to me in her drunken state with one eye open and one eye closed, I can't wait to get you home to make love to you. It was like all the sound dropped. And that's what showed in the restaurant. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh, jeez.
I drive us back there because I want to go now. Like I want her to
Right.
go home and I want to leave.
Oh
And
my
she
God.
decides to crack open a bottle of wine
Oh no.
and sing James Taylor songs to me in French.
In French.
French.
Did you get a massage out of it? Did she at least offer you a massage?
Nope, nope, nope. When she went to get the second bottle of wine, I'm like, I gotta go. And I just left.
That's just like in that scene when she goes to her, we could get Grubhub before or after, and she's got the Birkenstocks full of this cat litter.
Like I didn't even, it was like that moment couldn't come fast enough, like for that 1 second to escape,
Oh my God, that's funny. That is funny.
Yeah.
Uh, did you guys ever see the documentary, not Immediate Family, Nuclear Family on HBO about the two women that they in this it had to be in the 80s. They each had children with gay men, and they were a couple. And then it's really good. It's a true story. Anyway, the girl that directed the movie is their daughter. I mean, sorry, well, the girl that directed that and made that movie and wrote that documentary is their daughter, and she's been directing the last two of the and just like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Rye Russo Young, I think her name is, and her mothers were like really pioneers, like groundbreakers back in the day in the 70s. They got together. They were two women, and they both decided to have children with men, gay men, as the fathers, and they went out to California. They were in New York City. They figure like they wanted to be like further away. They didn't want the men to have any part in the bringing up of the children. And the one first child, the man didn't. He just wanted to be the father, but he didn't want to be in the kid's life. And then the second one, who's the father of the girl that made the movie, that made the documentary, he decided all of a sudden he wanted to be in the life and wanted custody and changed the deal. And
Oh
they
wow.
never did anything legally. And he was a lawyer, like a pretty prominent lawyer. And that's what that documentary is about. And so it's really good. It's called Nuclear Family. It's on HBO. So she's made a name, kind of a name for herself now in the movie, in the industry. And I noticed she directed the last couple of episodes of And Just Like That.
I love when I see somebody I know directing something.
Yeah, yeah.
I love
I follow her on Instagram.
Nisha Ganatra that made Chutney Popcorn. Like I can't believe how many things that she's directed, now. And Jamie Babbitt, Like I first met Jamie Babbitt during Itty Bitty Titty Committee, and that indie movie from Power Up, right? And she directed so many things from Gilmore Girls, like straight through to, stuff that you watch today, and it's amazing to me. Like just the other day, I started watching Law and Order, Organized Crime, and I forgot I love that black girl that's in it. She's like so awesome. Um, so I'm watching that, and it dawns on me that one of the creators of that is Eileen Chaikin.
Oh.
Like what? Like so yeah, it's really good to see, like, the lesbians,
Yeah.
getting work, and it's crazy, and I was just blown away because I'm like, Law and Order, really? It's like so mainstream. But then it's like, oh wait, yeah, the police captain is a lesbian who is married, and they do have a child. I was like, okay, maybe she's, talked them into doing that. But it's really good. I'm digging it. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Other than that, like, there's just nothing right now on. Like we're in a lull between stuff, and over here it takes like a year and a half to get things. So we just basically we binge on Nate and Jeremiah's Home Project.
Oh.
That's the gayest thing. That's the gayest thing right now. And FIFA World Cup. FIFA World Cup soccer. Yeah, that too.
Well, I highly recommend Nuclear Family if you guys didn't see it. You really should.
I won't get it
Yeah,
because we don't
check
have
it out.
HBO.
Oh, you don't get it. Oh. Um, I wonder if you could get it. You can't get it on online, like on the computer, like or anything like that. Like,
Oh
I
no.
guess you still have to have HBO. You're right.
Yeah. And I think that HBO uses Sky Atlantic as a channel here for certain programs. Like I remember Game of Thrones used to be on that, but our cable service, we don't get Sky Atlantic, so there was never any way to watch it. So no.
Such a shame.
Yeah, Heartstopper was the big gay thing, and Nate and Jeremiah, and women's soccer.
There's always that.
I know. Give me some stuff. I can't wait for Sex Education to come out on Netflix
Mhm.
because that is fantastic.
I wonder what that final season is going to be like because there've been so many cast changes and people are going to be spread out at different schools now. So I'm really curious what that final season will be like.
Like Dan Levy is in it, so right, or Dan Levy.
Yeah, that'll be exciting.
Yeah, that's one good thing because I just love him. I love his face. I love him. I love his face. I love his glasses. I love his eyewear. I love everything about him. Yeah, but yeah, there just isn't anything. I need something good. There is something like Disney has short films that were made for LGBT for Pride Month, or whatever. And there's like four of them. And I do want to watch them because each one of them looks amazing, looks so cute. And they're shorts, they're only like 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm saving that for a rainy day. It's in my bag.
Well, and just like that, we get that here like 3 o'clock if I'm up, 3 o'clock in the morning. If I'm not up, I can watch it in the morning because it drops on a Thursday, but early Thursday. So I
Yeah.
usually can't wait till Thursday night.
There's just, yeah, I just feel like there's just not that much on, especially because I'm not a big movie person. Like it
Mhm.
takes a lot for me to sit through a movie at home,
Yeah.
you know?
But you like a series, right? Like you'll do the series. You seem to get
Yes.
into those.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, which is good because like I can hear it, in any room pretty much because my house is so small. But with a movie, I feel like you got to give it your undivided attention.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
What else? What good, solid recommendation do you have for our end of Pride season?
Well, so you finished Heartstopper, the second season, right? Well, I would have to recommend that to anybody. That has to be what you end the summer with.
It is I really like it is like each character is so good. Isaac, come on. That was a
Oh,
great storyline, because everybody has that one friend that just sits at a party with their nose in a book. You know what I mean? But yeah, I love that they focused a little bit on him. I love that they went to Paris. I loved all of it. And I love the teachers. Like,
oh, I know. Their two teachers and their own little story that they have. That's so
and the
great.
rugby coach. I love the rugby coach.
There's
She's
a lot of great queer characters on the
yeah,
show.
yeah, and they're just dropped in right when you need them, right when you want them. Like there's not a lot of storyline involving the teachers, but they're just so perfect.
Yeah,
So perfect.
they offer great moments.
And Olivia Colman. You can I
I
mean,
know. Whenever she shows up, I'm just so happy.
me too. And she's just like the absolute perfect mom in this, honestly.
I'll
Honestly. Like
watch that.
I
I'll have to
I
catch
didn't realize that it was based on a book. When we were watching the first season, there was a lot of talk about the books, and I was just like, oh my God, like young adult queer novels. Like, how awesome is that?
that.
That writer
We
is so
need it.
involved in the show. Like, that's spectacular. Yeah. Because usually, like, you sell your rights to the book and they kick you in the ass and they redo everything.
Right.
She's
Yeah.
really retained like so much of the book. That's fantastic.
I
And
know.
so we're on what, episode 8 of And Just Like That, going
Mhm.
backwards for a minute. And you've read about the last episode and the last scene, right?
Right.
What's
Mm.
Yes.
happening, what's coming up. I feel
Oh,
like that's the only reason I'm hanging in.
I
That
know.
Yeah.
I want to see
blitz.
her. I want to see her.
Yep. Did you watch Glamorous?
I tried to get into it. It wasn't for me,
Yeah.
but I I'm so glad that she's on that show.
Yeah. So the
They
kid that's in that, JD, have you heard anything about that?
no, did they tell you what I know she's going to be on the last episode, but I didn't hear it in
No,
what way.
no, the other show called Glamorous on Netflix.
No,
No.
no.
Okay.
Is it good?
Um,
Should I be watching that? Because
I see the trailer every time I log on, and I just haven't clicked on it yet. But I feel like I should, because I found on Disney Plus. I love Robin Roberts, right?
yeah,
Right,
yeah.
and she has a show called Turning Tables.
Uh-huh.
She had so many queer women on it, like Melissa Etheridge and Tig Notaro, Sheila E., like all these fantastic women sitting around her living room just talking.
Wow. Yeah.
I loved it. And there was that Miss Bunny. Like I said to Gemma, why does she look so familiar? She was like, do you remember that show Champions with Fortune Feimster? And I was like, yes. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's the little queer kid that was in that, is now
Oh.
like blossoming, transitioning, whatever, full makeup, full hair, everything, sitting there chatting away. And it was just really, really good because it was the right mix of people in every episode, like older, newer, advice,
Yeah. Yeah.
trailblazers, not, OGs, you know what I mean? Like it was a really good mix. And I didn't, like I just stumbled on it. I didn't hear any promo about it or anything. And I was like, why isn't this getting more attention?
I'm gonna have to
So
look for
good.
that.
So good. And I did
Yeah.
watch Gutsy with Hillary and Chelsea Clinton.
I
And that
saw that.
was very good. That was
Is that
Yeah,
nice.
I
good?
thought they had some interesting subjects that they
Yeah.
interviewed.
Really good. Really
Is
good.
that a documentary or is that a talk show or
It was a,
Like a
like a six
docu-series.
part series, like a docu-series, where they
oh,
just talk to gutsy women, you know.
oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
That was really good. I think it showed both of them in such a more personable, likable light, you know, because I do think that, people will always carry anger, about Chelsea Clinton, and they call her names when she was a kid and all that kind of stuff, it was horrible. And they're
Yeah.
like, Barron's untouchable. Barron's untouchable. It's a child,
Right, right.
It's a Chelsea.
She was a
God.
child.
But yeah, anyways, it was I thought that was super super good. Yeah, there was a
I'd
few.
love to check that out.
I like the short, sweet things.
Me too.
You
Yeah,
know? Did you watch? You had Apple, right?
I do,
Did
yeah.
First of all, I'm looking forward to the morning show.
yeah.
That show is so crazy.
It's so good. John Hamm and Tig Notaro this year. Come on.
Really good.
But there's another show on there called Dear, and
Beer?
have you watched that? Yeah,
No.
it's like celebrities reading a letter that had an impact, like from a fan.
Oh,
No,
oh,
I
that's
haven't seen
interesting.
that.
Yeah, and those are really really good too, and those are like super quick. But also, I loved Shrinking with
Oh, me too.
Harrison Ford and Jason Segel. Oh my God.
I can't believe Harrison Ford didn't get nominated for an Emmy. Everybody had him locked as winning when the
Agreed.
Emmys actually air, but he wasn't even nominated for Shrinking, and he was so good.
And a lot of times, like, I believe me, like, I'm not a Republican. I don't want to know anything about it. But I really, really love some of Taylor Sheridan's productions. Like, I watched Yellowstone faithfully, just waiting on how they're going to wrap that up.
It's
Um,
funny that you say that, like, you're not like, because it's very Republican leaning,
it
the
is.
shows,
It very much is. And I was really nervous about watching it because, first of all, I don't like to see any kind of animal abuse. I don't even like to see,
Oh,
like, I don't
Uh-huh.
like to see bull riding or, any of that kind of stuff. And it
yeah.
wasn't, and it's not that it's abuse, it's just farming. You know what I mean? Like wolves get to animals, horses crash, it's just stuff like that. So, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
still like makes me like, so I didn't
I
know
know.
if I was gonna be into it, but I cannot believe that the girl that plays Kevin Costner's daughter isn't nominated for an Emmy. Like, I've never seen a character like that and played so well. Like
Yeah.
unbelievable. Like, she's the type that's getting beat up by someone and she
Mhm.
just keeps saying, keep it coming. Go ahead, give me your best shot. Like her eyes out to here, her lips,
Oh, God.
you know what I mean? And she's like, that all you got? Like, oh my God. But like, yeah, there were a lot of surprises in the nominations this year. Like, really, really surprising. Harrison Ford was fantastic in that. But so is Jessica Williams. Is that who played the
Yeah, yeah, Jessica Williams.
so damn funny? So good.
Yeah, I'm
It
glad she got nominated.
it felt ad-libbed. You know what I mean? Like, it was so natural, like the acting was so natural that it felt like improv or
Yeah.
ad-lib, like it was that good. Yeah, I was very, very much into that. That was really good. But
Did
yeah,
you see did you see the season finale just came out, but the hijack show with Idris Elba?
no, I think I just started seeing ads for that.
Yeah, you should
Watch
check it out.
anything
It's
with him.
pretty
I
good.
will. I will definitely watch that because I will watch anything with him. I love him. He's the perfect Brit. Like, he's a perfect Brit. I do love him.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
fun.
British TV.
I
What
know.
is that on? What channel is that on? Or station? Or what do you call
That's
them
on
now?
Apple TV too.
Yeah, that's
Apple.
um. But you're the girl that JD that you like. That's in what's the British show that you watch?
Oh, The Split.
Right. That woman is
Nicola Walker.
Nicola Walker. Yeah, she's in a new show called Annika that looks really good.
Heard
Really
about
good.
that one.
Yeah. I keep seeing that too.
Well,
And
will we get that here? I wonder if I could find that here.
I wonder if you will get that. I'm not quite sure. But we're saving all the episodes of the fourth series of Departure with Archie Punjabi from
Mm,
Wife. Yeah, I got
she's
that.
in Hijack.
Is she?
Yeah.
Love her.
I know. I just finished rewatching The Good Wife, and she was like one of my favorite characters on that show.
Yes, yes. I also have the last season of The Good Fight that I haven't watched.
Oh, it's good. It's
Is
very
it?
good. Yeah.
Because I
I
love me
love
some
Christine
Christine.
Baranski,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I love what they
Girl,
were
the Buffalo Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. Oh, good. Yeah, there's a few things that we have loaded that's like, let's just keep these in our back pocket for when there's nothing on. Then we sit on the couch every night and bitch that there's nothing on.
Oh, I'm the same way. And I'm glad that we were talking because there's some things that I can actually check out now because I'm trying to figure out what to watch next.
Ah,
And I know that only
Yeah.
murders, but I'm gonna try and let a couple of those build up, because that's
Yeah,
hard to watch one a week. That's tough.
yeah, I know. I just saw those two episodes yesterday and I couldn't get into it as easily as I could the first two seasons.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
you
that's
gotta
just me.
give everything like three, like give it three.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
And
I'm
when's
hoping
Poker
that
Face?
next week.
We got Poker Face over here finally with Natasha
Oh,
Lyonne.
it's about time. I loved Poker
That was
Face
really good. Did you have that one, Jay?
I don't know. I don't
on
know.
Peacock.
Oh God, that was really good. Yeah.
What is that? What is that about,
She
roughly?
plays she was like was she a dealer or a bartender or something in a casino? But she has this ability to tell when somebody's lying.
Oh, oh, that
And
sounds good.
she gets in trouble. She's so good in it. She really is. She gets in trouble with the with the casino owner and has to go on the run. And every town she goes into, there's some someone lies and she has to get to the bottom of it. It's
Big
like
lie.
so that was really enjoyable. That was really good. And I rarely ever go on Amazon now because Mrs. Maisel's over with. And there wasn't that much that I really, found. So my mother's friend messages me every now and then with like a British show or something and goes, "Have you seen this? This was really, really good." But she said to me, "Have you seen Deadlock?" And I was like, not. So I started watching Deadlock, and my wife and I like binged the whole thing in a day and a half. Like it was that good. It was Australian, uh,
Oh,
and it was about like a very small town called Deadlock, and the lesbian, police officer, and it like the whole town. There was like a lot of lesbians in it, like their little friendship group. There was like a stereotypical lesbian in that group, right? The one that's like woo woo and drumming circles and farming and vegan and all that kind of shit.
Birkenstocks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So there's like this murder that happens and in this quiet town that basically has like, some shoplifters and bike theft. So they have this murder and the whole thing is they're bringing in somebody from Darwin, which is the next biggest city. They're going to have a detective from Darwin come and of course the police, you know, officer is all offended. Like, I can handle this. I used to be so she used to, and there's this whole backstory that, she lived in Sydney and she was a detective, but it was destroying the relationship because she was obsessive about her job. So they moved to this small town, small place where she could just have a, 9 to 5er. But now they bring in this, which you think is going to be a guy, but it's the foulest woman you have ever
Oh,
imagined. And this uptight, it's like The Heat with Melissa
yeah,
McCarthy and Sandra Bullock. It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
those two personalities together, the by the book, proper, polite, and then
Right.
brash, right? And it's absolutely hilarious, but it just keeps you going because it's this major, it becomes this huge serial killer, ends up like there's all kinds of dead bodies turning up, like but it's so good, so good. And I know they're gonna have a season 2 just by the way it ended, so I'm like looking forward to that. Really, really funny. I had to watch it with subtitles, mind you, but it was really,
Ah.
I'm Australian. I still needed subtitles. But yeah, that was my keeper. That's my recommendation.
I like that. I watched a little bit of it. Their humor was funny, like some of the delivery, like some of the things they said, the way
Yes.
they like deadpan just said it, like it was just funny stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. It was so enjoyable. Like I was so shocked at how good it was. I was like, oh yeah. So that's my recommendation. Yours is Heartstopper. Mine's Deadlock. JD.
Nuclear Family, but you won't get that because it's HBO Max. But wait, but you watching just like that. So,
I get that through Sky Comedy. So
oh,
I don't know if
Um,
it's not a comedy. I don't know. Maybe it'll be on Sky Documentaries because
maybe.
that's where I find like the Janet Jackson one, the Tina Turner one, and the Paul Newman one.
When you get here, when you come to visit here, you can watch it. Come on,
I
come
always do
over.
that. I always do that. Like I'll tell Donna to like record stuff. I'll tell my mom to record stuff, and then I'm not going to sit in your house in 2 hours, for 2 hours and watch something. No.
Oh, this is actually 3 parts, so you'd be like settled in.
All right. Well, those are our recommendations for your
Yes.
end of Pride entertainment. Yeah, no, I guess we just all have to hunker down for the fall and the winter. It'll be as gay as ever. I'm convinced.
it will.
It will. It will.
It's so nice to see you, Nick. I was just thinking about you the other day. I came across your picture when I was editing some things, and then I have like a folder with all the Rainbow Remix stuff in it. And I'm like, oh, we haven't had Nick on in a while. And then Denise texted me that you were going to be on.
Yeah.
I know.
Yay!
I'm so excited.
Nick, I thought of you. I can't remember. It was about a month and a half ago. We went to this my friend Katie is in a softball league over here, and it was the end of season party, and it was at this club in Clapham, and which is kind of trendy, cool area. And it was at this gay bar called Two Brewers, and it was in the back in a private room. And I was kind of sitting there like this, like all night, because I don't play, so I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
You know, but Katie needed a wingman because there was somebody that was supposed to be coming that she was interested in, and we were going to meet her and talk her up and blah, 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 all this stuff. And the girl never showed. So now,
Oh no.
right,
You told me that. Yeah.
I go to Gemma, I'm gonna step out front and have a smoke, and then I'll be right back. And she's like, okay. So I open up the doors into the club, and there's a drag show going on, and it was fucking mobbed to the point where I was like, I thought I was gonna get crushed to death, like I was at a Travis Scott
Oh
concert.
my God.
Like I couldn't breathe, like people's faces were like this. They were,
No.
guys, like the drinks getting spilled all over me and everything.
Oh my
And I'm like,
God.
oh my God. So I get outside, I get some air, I have a cigarette, I calm down, I go away. I'm like, oh my God, this is horrible. I make my way back through, and I go to Gemma, oh my God, it is so crowded out there. And she said, well, we only have this room for like another half an hour, and then they're going to open the doors. So
Mhm.
it'll, thin out.
Yeah.
So they do it, people start filtering in and everything. And then we're getting ready to leave, right? And I booked a car, and we got to get out front and meet them on the side street. So we go back through, and there's more people, more people. Like she is pulling my hand, and like these gay men are so funny, right? Because it's like you're crushed up against them and they're like, I can feel your boobies. I was like,
Oh my gosh.
you know, I'm like, I can feel your dick. You know, so crazy. I could not believe it. I seriously thought I was going to lose my life. But I was like, this is so normal for a gay boy club, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
for it to be packed like that. Like,
The women's bars don't get packed like that.
no, we're lucky if 8 people
Ever.
go on a weeknight. You know what I mean? Jesus. So yeah, that was an experience that I lived through and I will not do it again.
I bet.
You got to know what's on tap as far as entertainment goes, because if I'd have known, yeah, probably would have no. So yeah, that was my bad Pride experience. No, it was crazy. It was funny the way they handle it though, right? I can feel your boobies, and then I'm like, oh my god, it's just not what you want to hear from a dude.
No.
God. It was pretty crazy. All right. So, anyways, that was good. It was a good catch up. I'm so glad that we get a chance to talk about queer entertainment with you because it's just not something that really comes up.
Yeah, I'm glad we get to discuss it.
I am.
Yeah.
All right, now go back to work.
I know. Yeah. No, thank you.
Hudson. Don't forget the documentary.
No, we've got lots of stuff to watch.
Yes.
You know, we've got a list now. We got a queue, as they say over here. We've got a queue.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, my lovelies. Have a wonderful evening.
Bye.
Chat again soon. It was good seeing your faces.
Yes. Bye.
Why do you always run back to
Like, never stop chasing your dreams.
the lover you
There,
once
see?
We drank way too much whiskey.
And I confess my addiction is you. Don't ask me why I'm here tonight. I had to take this midnight drive to find you. And as I come in through the door, I see her dancing on the floor beside you. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. And I confess, my addiction is you. You look at me and in my eyes you see the hurt I can't disguise. I want you. And though it seems I look right through, I'm noticing your every move. She's got you. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. And I confess, my addiction is you. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. And I confess, my addiction is you. I turn away to mask the pain, but jealousy reveals my rage and madness. And knowing you can read my mind consumes me in a shameful kind of sadness. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. And I confess, my addiction is you. much that's true, and I confess my addiction is you. Why do you run? Why do you My addiction. Why do you run? My addiction. Why do you run? My addiction.